Hello friends, today I'm going to be talking about something that's been on my mind a lot lately, and that is minimalism. Specifically, how I started, why I started, and just how I got to where I am now with it. Once upon a time, I was a young'un who loved things. Lots of things. I was an avid crafter, which meant I was into things like crocheting, beading, knitting, needle felting, and anything that had anything to do with crafting, I probably was into it. Because of these hobbies, I had a tendency to keep things around, just everything. I just kept it. All the things. This was because I saw a possibility and potential in pretty much everything I came into contact with, whether that be fancy paper, buttons, bits of string. Everything had potential, and I wanted it to reach that potential, so I kept it around, hoping one day that I would get around to making it into something. And I give myself a lot of credit because I did use a lot of random things and random crafts, and maybe some of them, a lot of them were useless things that were never going to be used in our household, but it was fun to make them, and I am all for creativity and feeding your imagination. Anyway, I had a very hard time letting things pass through my ownership and onto the next person, because I just wanted to keep everything. When you are interested in a lot of projects and hobbies, it's very hard to let things go. Flash forward several years, and I'm becoming more specialized in what hobbies I pursue. I do still have a lot of hobbies, but I spend more time on school, friends, and music rather than a bunch of little random crafts. My desire to keep everything around has gone down, even though I do still have some collector tendencies. This is about 5 years ago that I'm talking about, so in my early tweens. Then, a year or two ago, I watched a video on minimalism from Sarah Teresa's channel. And I can't say whether this was the first video I'd seen on minimalism, but it was the first one that really stuck with me. Obviously, because it's the first one I remember. I was immediately interested in this topic. The idea of getting rid of stuff and clearing up space so that you could actually live in your house rather than store things sounded fantastic to me. So I started researching all that I could. I watched videos from, I've got a list, Matt Diavella, Lana Blakely, Shelbizzle, Pickup Lines, Janelle Christina, Madeline Olivia, and probably many others. I became more educated and aware about the issues surrounding consumerism and mass production. Watching these videos on minimalism really opened my eyes up to the problem of mindless consumerism and the negative impacts it has on ourselves, our planet, and our overall quality of life. After quite the phase of watching all the videos on minimalism that I could gain new knowledge from, I started implementing what I was learning. And the first step was getting rid of stuff. I started with all the things that I knew were pretty useless to me, but I hadn't really set down and started getting rid of. I had plenty of things that just went in the trash because they were that useless, but I also donated a lot of stuff to the thrift store. Clothing, books, journals that I hadn't even used, etc. Once all the useless things had been yeeted out of my life, I started on the harder stuff, like clothes that I kinda liked but didn't actually wear all that much, birthday cards, because I kept every single one of them, which is a lot. Can't imagine how many I would have if I kept every single one until I was 20. Gee whiz. Half-filled notebooks that I probably would never use, journals that I'd written a couple pages in but then got discouraged because I didn't like the cover. These things took more consideration, and so I spent more time on it. Each day I would focus on a different category. One day I would do my closet, the next day I'd do journals, next day school notebooks that I probably would never use again because they were already filled up, and so on and so forth. I did this on and off for many months until I got to where I am now. I actually still do this pretty regularly. Just the other day, I went through all my things and picked out stuff that was in here that really didn't belong in here or that I could get rid of, like my clothes. I went through them again and got rid of more things that I just realistically would never wear. Some of the stuff I'm going to be selling, some of it I donated, but regardless of where it went, it meant that I had fewer things to worry about. The process of weeding through my stuff is much, much quicker than it used to be because I've gotten rid of so many things. And it's so nice. It is such a blessing to just go through everything and only get rid of a few things because everything else you actually use and need feels great. Now my room is consistently tidy and I really don't lose things very often, which is another blessing because I used to lose things all the time. I would put it away in my room somewhere and then, an hour later I would have no idea where I put it because I just had so many things, and things had a place, but it wasn't their permanent place because I had so much stuff that I would just move it around and rearrange, and it was confusing. But now everything has a place, and it has an actual place, especially my closet. It's so neat and tidy in there. I'm very proud of it. Makes my heart sing. Along with getting rid of things in order to live more minimally comes the practice of saying no to new things. Now, I am someone who loves new things. However, when I am offered the opportunity to take ownership of something, I am very critical about what my answer is going to be. I ask myself, do I need this? Would I love having this? And would this enrich my life? If I answer no to any of those questions, then it's a solid no from me. I will pass. The same principle goes for shopping. I have stopped buying clothes that I don't absolutely love. I've stopped buying things that are on a really good sale because honestly, half the time I wouldn't even use that thing. Sure, it's a great deal, but it's a great deal that I don't need. If it's not adding to my happiness in a very real, great way, then I don't need it, and therefore I do not buy it. By some people's standards, I have a lot of stuff. But to others, it may seem like I have very little. It's really all up to your perspective and your perception of things. And that's kind of the cool thing about minimalism, is that it's very personal and fluid. To me, I have a lovely amount of stuff, and I'm very happy with where I'm at. I do have a goal for my things, and that is to be able to fit everything into a small car, like a sedan, and not leave anything behind. That is excluding furniture, of course, but I really, really like the idea of being able to pack everything up super easily and then just drive away, just whisk away like a little leaf. It just sounds great. I plan on traveling and moving around a lot when I'm older, so this minimalist lifestyle is really supportive of that. And if I ever need to flee the country, I can just pack up my stuff and go. Real easy. I still love things, and I do still love new things. But I also love the feeling of buying something that I absolutely love and that will last me forever. And I also love the feeling of respecting my boundaries enough to say no to what I don't need. Honestly, I feel super liberated and free and light having few things. I don't feel weighed down by, oh my gosh, I have to clean my room, so much crap everywhere. I don't have a lot of stuff to begin with, so it's harder to make messes. And it honestly motivates me more to start projects because I know cleanup will be easy and I won't have to spend hours and hours trying to clean my room in order to have space to start something new. As I said before, I'm very happy with where I'm at, and I look forward to learning and growing and learning how to let go even more in the future. I will be making more videos on minimalism and how I practice it in specific areas of my life, so if you would like to see that, let me know by liking this video, commenting, or just sticking around until that video actually comes out. I hope you found this video helpful, informative, or just generally enjoyable, and I'd love to know what you think. Let me know somewhere, DMs, comments, whatever you want to do. Stay lovely, be kind, and have a great day. You fix it fast fashion. I'm struggling. Have a great day. What was that? Struggling. I will be making more. I'm okay. Then, about a year or two ago, I saw a video on issues. likes of fast fashion, what? Because it's the planet. I'm struggling.